Hi, good afternoon students and welcome to you all in my new video. This video is also dedicated for the students of standard 10 and this video is related with the subject of history. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is the revolutionaries 2.4. Subtopic is 2.4. The revolutionaries. So our today's topic of discussion is the revolutionaries. So it is obvious that the question may arise in our mind that what has led for the rise of revolutionaries. See, as we have discussed in our previous topic, let us have a quick revision of that, so that a better understanding for this topic could be built. See, in our previous topic we have discussed that a new conservative after 1850. In our previous lecture we have already discussed about this topic, a new conservative after 1850, and we have also discussed the meaning of conservative. Conservatism means to revive or reform the older form and structure. Meaning of conservatism we have also discussed. It means to revive the older form or structure. So this topic was basically about the re-establishment of monarchical form of government, because as we all know that Napoleon has destroyed the traditional structure, or we can say that Napoleon has destroyed the traditional institute of state as well as society. What was the traditional institution of state and society? These were monarchy, feudal system, social hierarchies, means the society was divided into first state, second state and third state, and it was only the people of the third state on whose soldiers the burden of paying taxation to the state was lying. So traditional institution of state as well as society were monarchy, feudalism, clerical means churches, social hierarchies, feudalism, serfdoms as well as slaves. These were the social hierarchies as well as state institutions, traditional state institutions. So the revolution of 1789 sparked the people to revolt against the monarchical system of government. So a new constitution was prepared in the year 1791, and again amendment were constitution of France, and again certain amendments were made in the constitution of 1791, and a new constitution came into existence. A new constitution came into existence in the year 1792, and again there were several administrative changes. changes were brought down by Napoleon. See, instead of bringing democracy, that was the demand of the general people. Napoleon usurped the throne not only of the France but of the neighboring countries also. He made people to dream about the liberty as well as freedom. But instead of fulfilling the dreams of the commoners, he usurped the throne. And in the neighboring territories also, he instigated people to demand liberty as well as freedom. This instigation that was made by the Napoleon's army as well as Napoleon's propaganda that was spread made the monarchical systems that were present in UK, Prussia, Austria as well as Russia made the political system of these countries also, since these countries were following monarchical system of government. So these kinds of instigation that were made by Napoleon Bonaparte was making the political system of these countries unstable, and these rulers, the rulers of these countries were feeling insecure and unsafe. They were also thinking that any time anything could happen. Revolt may also spark in these countries as was happened in the France. So out of fear, these countries established a combined forces, and the combined forces of these countries defeated Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo in 1850, and it was the initiative led by these countries only that again conservative forces started demanding that instead of democracy, monarchical form of government should be established, and that should be strengthened enough so as to cope the prevailing situation, and people could feel more satisfaction. Of course, the administrative changes brought down by the Napoleon could not be avoided. That should be kept in mind. But blending Napoleon's administrative ideology along with monarchical system, a better political government could be put forth for the general people, and of course the general people will be more satisfied. This was the view of the conservatives. So a congress was made to sit at Vienna in 1850, led by the Democrats or representatives from UK, Prussia, Austria and Russia under the chairmanship of Duke of Metternich of Austria. The changes that were brought by the Napoleon Bonaparte was thought to undo as soon as possible. It was felt that the changes that were brought by the Napoleon Bonaparte was injustice, and therefore the changes made by the Napoleon Bonaparte should be done away with. Therefore, certain changes were brought by the Congress, and these changes were forming a series of new estates along the frontiers of France, so that the imperialistic policies of the France could be contained, or it can be prevented. France can be prevented from further territorial expansion. Therefore, new estates were formed from all the directions, means east, west, north and south directions. New frontiers, new estates were created. Apart from that, the territory of Germany, that were a confederation of 39 states, were left unchanged. We have discussed in our last topic also that Genoa was added Piedmont from the south of France, so that it could prevent France from further territorial expansion in the south. Similarly, Netherlands, which included Belgium, was formed from north of France. And likewise, many new states were formed, so as to prevent the France from further territorial gains. Apart from this, new censorship laws were enacted, so that liberal nationalists could not publish anything against the monarchical system of government. So, instead of dictatorship, now in France, monarchy from the Bourbon family that was dethroned was made to sit on the throne once again. And as a result of the censorship law that prevented liberal nationalists to speak anything against the monarchy, a fear had erupted into their minds that any time they would be caught and punished by the new regime or the new political system. Therefore, out of the fear of repression, they subdued. See, now we are moving towards our new topic, that is the revolutionaries. See, when the political system in France changed after the Battle of Waterloo in 1850, liberal nationalists were left with no option other than to flee from the countries, or to remain or to live underground without making any sound. And so, due to the fear of repression and custody, they became underground and started their movements by living underground. So, many underground societies were formed at that time. Let us discuss in detail the topic. But first of all, let me rub this, okay? Now see, moving forward, as we have discussed, that due to the fear of repression as well as custodial treatment, the liberal nationalists went underground, or they fled from their countries to operate secret societies in whole of the Europe. Young revolutionaries that demanded republic and democracy participated actively in these secret societies, and one such popular revolutionaries were Giuseppe Mazzini from Italy. See, he was born in Giuseppe Mazzini was born in 1807 at Genoa. At Genoa in Italy. Giuseppe Mazzini was born in 1807 at Genoa in Italy. When he was 24 years old, 24 years of age, he was exiled. He was exiled from Italy for a revolutionary activity at Liguria in Italy. See, when Giuseppe Mazzini was 24 years old, he was exiled from Italy for carrying out revolutionary activities at a place in Liguria. At a place in Liguria. This place is located in Italy itself. This incident has taken place in the year 1831. In between, here he has joined a new secret society. Joined a secret society of Carbonari. See, what has happened that Giuseppe Mazzini, first of all, in his early age, he joined a secret society. The name of that society was Carbonari. And carrying out his activities from this society, he was exiled from Italy in the year 1831. When he was a member of Carbonari, he carried out revolutionary activities at Liguria, and as a result of punishment, he was exiled from Italy. So when he was out of Italy, he has formed two more secret societies. Secret societies. One was Young Italy and other was Young Europe. See, Giuseppe Mazzini, while he was in exile from Italy, he formed two secret societies while he was staying abroad. One named as Young Italy and other named as Young Europe. Young Italy at Marseille and Young Europe at Bern. See, Marseille is an island which is located in France. So Marseille is located in France and Bern is located in Switzerland. Young Europe was formed in Bern, which is located in Switzerland, and Young Italy was formed at Marseille. This is an island place located in France. So two secret societies were formed by Giuseppe Mazzini, and these were abroad, and many like-minded young people joined this secret society as a revolutionary member to this society, and basically the members were from Poland, Germany, France and Italy. And on the same pattern, there were several other secret revolutionary organizations also came into existence in Germany, Poland, Switzerland, and France. The motive of all these secret revolutionaries were to bring democracy and liberty. Giuseppe was of the view that God has intended to form nations to be a unit of mankind. Giuseppe Mazzini was very enthusiastic and very active, and he was determined to unite the people on the basis of who were of the view or a strong supporter of the view of liberty and freedom, democracy. He was of the view that unless and until a nation state is carved out of many numerous small Italian states, the dream of building a democratic nation or a democratic republic could not be fulfilled. So, prior to bringing of the democracy, it is very much necessary that a nation state should be carved out by uniting people together. He was of the view that several Italian states should be brought together and unified, so that a unified single largest territory that could be called the nation state could be formed. Mazzini's relentless opposition to monarchical form of government and his attempts to arouse the sentiments of the people to rise for the demand of the democratic republic has frightened the conservatives. Therefore, Metternich had described Mazzini as the most dangerous enemy of the social order. It was the attempts of the Giuseppe Mazzini to demand the democratic rights and form democratic republics that Metternich was forced to describe him as the most dangerous enemy of the social order. So this was our topic, and in my next video we will discuss about the next topic. So students, one more thing, you should not bother about the question answer. Apart from discussing the topics in detail, I will also make you people available the question answer of these topics. That will help you a lot for the preparation of your board exams. So thank you.